So this is the ID of your symbol. You can update where? Only in the screen? No, in all the project. What you want to preserve? Because I already worked on my symbol assigning the variable, resizing because was close another ROM. So keep, preserve this info or remove. Okay. Yes, update all. In this case, I updated my object also in the library, and with one click, I'm happy because I save a lot of time. So these are the symbols. The control is an help to access all the objects. You can browse from here. You have comments around the symbol. No, you can move. That is more or less all. No, for the moment, for the graphic. No, then I know there is a lot of things to say. No, we could stay for a week over this topic. Just thinking if I missed something important. We'll try to use the object also during the second part and in the intermediate level. What I can show now is to summarize a little bit. No, we not check. No, but if you insert an object like a rectangle in your screen, no, clicking at the object, you have the property of this object. No, seems lot of property. No, but the style is to modify. No, the look of the object. The dynamic is all this dynamic. This object is a static rectangle. Could be an object that display a value. No, with the display value object. Generally is to rotate, for example, the object. No, in edit. You could, I don't know, play with the visibility of an object. No, looking at different layers is a concept that I not told you, but you can in Movicon, in the Movicon screens, in edit, each screen have till to 16 different layers, so you can put your object in a specific layer, and you can play with the in this way with the visibility of the object. No, even if it's not so used, because there is a very useful visibility property in the dynamic property of the object. Genera anche so you want to script. Position is the exact position and the size of the object. Stroke is the text color if you insert a text. Background is the color of the background. Access level is what I show for the variables. So an object could be under a specific access level in read or write, visible or in writable. The font for the text, object, the dragging, an object that is static could perform a command in the execution properties. If you want, you can associate a structure variable for this symbol. Another concept that could be seen in advanced training. That's all more or less for the graphic part. Let me open an example that summarizes a little bit what you can do with the dynamic property of an object. Okay, save my template. So this is another nice example that shows what you can do in the dynamic property of the Movicon objects. For example, the visibility. You are triggering the visibility in runtime of an object according to a variable value. I'm toggling this button slider just move a variable, and this variable perform a dynamic animation of your object. Visibility, you can perform a transparency of an object. You can move runtime according to an horizontal x-axis, vertical. You can also create a composed movement, of your object. You can build, let's say, the street in development, that the object have to follow, and then in runtime animate this with the variable. You can scale an object in runtime and rotate also in runtime. In development, I show. This is important, is how you can display a text in that could be not a fixed text, but a text that change according to a variable value. So, dynamic property of the object. An object that changes the background. An object is a rectangle that where we apply the dynamic text. It means that according to a variable value, we go and change. The text could be nice, not to put close to a motor, to a pump, having a dynamic display done easily, in this way. Filling is I show in runtime, what I mean. Image, I show how you can embed a background image on a rectangle. With this dynamic option, you can embed more image and change this image according to a value, or put in loop the image. Drag. You can drag and retrieve the position on the screen. In case of touch screen, you can resize and get the size of the object. Our example normally have an help accessible from the menu. A menu is nothing else than something that you can build on this resource. So you can build a menu here. The menu, if you have the screen name, will be shown on the top of your screen, so you can call commands in a menu style. Okay, guys, let me have a quick look over. If I show everything, I missed to show one important thing, that is the string table, how you can handle the multi-language project. It was a part of the first module. Before to start with the Allans, with the last topic, let me show this how it's working. So I will take an empty screen. It's a dirty screen. Screen 7 is an empty screen. And our properties windows here. Remember, the reset Windows layout is always available. Okay, screen 7. So if I have a text on my project, that image is Alan Windows, is a text, a static text. You could always look at change the font, for example, here in the property of the object, or from the top menu. Now, what is this string table? This string table is a project resource, is a table that contains all the string, all the text, how you can build the first time. Your project, right click, check missing strings. These are the string ID that the system found, like our test, other Windows. Then there are other text, from button or other resource that I don't want to check now. Is only what I add is other Windows. Now the string table require that you can filter, require the language columns. So is how you can build your project as a multi-language. For example, English column, and I click add additional language, Italian. You can. There are no limits. You can add different language and so on. How is working the translation, the ability to create a project multi-language? Simply, replacing the correct translation. Oops, sorry. in these columns. So one is English, one is Italian, pagina, like this. For all the screen. You could also, remember, extract the string with the export, give to the translation office that will re-import the string. So here is the text. If you not enable, it will use automatically the string ID. But you could imagine also to create your project using IDs here, not real text. Short coding and copy paste. You know this code means this string, replacing the string table, the real text, no? Up to you if you want to optimize this job. For us, it's transparent, no? If you don't enable a language, you will take the string ID. If you enable the language column, you can play and change the language easily in this way that I will show. Save, okay, yeah. Now, if I go runtime, this was a static test, will be automatically translated in different language using this bar, the bar that there is in the bottom here, where you have the output messages. You have the way to double click here and select the language. Look, the text is automatically translated. You can do in a different way this part. For example, adding, just to improve the graphic, a couple of rectangles or buttons like this. This is a rectangle. I can insert here a background image. UK flag. Here flag like this, no? And now there is a predefined command. So if I click on the object execution, when I click over this object, new command, now I'm not working on variable, not working with screen, I work with the language tab. I select English and confirm with OK my command. And again, for the other, click when I press new command, language, Italian. This is a list of commands. You could add waiting time and perform an additional command. It's not only one. No, you can perform a sequence of commands. Select the language, log on a user, set a variable, and so on. So it's working like this. Another option could be work directly at the users. Now I not talk about the user and user group, but you could have two users. No, one is Francesco, for example, that have the password 123456, that have a preferred language, Italian. Another will be Paul. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that have a preferred language English, or two users with this property. Now I should enable the user management, looking at the user and user group property, enable password manager. And now I need to perform a command to log on the user. So I could add a button. Log on, another button, oops, and I could add here a display that shows which user is logged on. So I remove the spin, and I will drag here the system variable member active username over here. If I go now runtime, can log on. Oh, I missed to set the command, sorry. So in the command here, I should execute a command. Which command? Now we are working with the users, log on. With the other is the log off. The two users were Francesco and Paul. So if I start now, on. Wait, let's leave English now. If I log on as a Francesco, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, long. What is? No, wait. What I wrote a wrong user. Francesco, Ita. Okay. Let me add another user. Maybe my username corresponds with the Windows name. So add a new user 1, for example. Password is user 1, and preferred language is Italian. So if I go runtime, user one. Okay, the text is in Italian. If I log off and then log on as a Paul, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It will automatically translate with the correct language. This is just a tip not to optimize how you can switch the different language. Alan's third topic for today is how you can build and generate the alarm inside Movicon. We have a dedicated resource in the tree structure of the project that is here, alarms. I'm not sure, but you can organize the alarms, the variable, the screens in folder. For example, starting from the variables, you could create a new variable group, for example, lube or skid, and put all the variables related to this screen of the pin ID inside this folder. Same is for the screens. Could be a new folder, and you can drag here the screen. Same is for the alarms. You could add an alarm area in your alarm resource to organize the resource of the project. So inside our alarm resource, you can generate the events, the alarm events. Then once are in a different ways, I will show how. Then you can view this alarm through ready object present in the toolbox, like the alarm windows, the alarm banner, the log windows to show the historical logs. That's why the alarms event, when an alarm is on, is an event. Alarm off, all these events goes automatically inside the historical log. So in the database, in a save location. Through this information, we are able to generate report, perform analysis. an additional tools is available. The alarm dispatcher allows you to dispatch this information to a maintenance man via using different plugins like email, like SMS, like voice plugin, and so on. No? This is an example of the alarm windows, historical data, configuration of the alarm dispatcher. Let me show how it's working. So with examples. So Movicon and alarms. How you can generate the alarms. Right click or command, add a new alarm. Looking at the alarm properties, we move as usual on the right, property windows, alarm name of the resource, device name. You can enter here the device name associated to this alarm, an additional info. You can associate which variable trigger this alarm event. Could be a bit not to associate here or an analog variable. General advance, you can enable, disable the alarm dynamically according to another variable. So could be a logic that disable part of the alarm. I don't know, for example, instrumentation that is under range, you can disable winter time, thermocouple, temperature low. No, you can decide to disable this alarms with the variable, dynamically with the variable, or manually from here in the edit. Variable duration allows you to process this alarm on variable statistic duration. Enable, disable the dispatching. Enter the history for this alarm as the value to be accepted as a fluctuation of the threshold. Enter the maximum cache value before starting the recycle. When this value has been reached, the oldest event will be discarded. And so on. Enable, disable. This is quite important. Enable only if the quality is good. This is the default settings. The alarm will be enabled only if the quality of the associate variable is good. This means that if you lose the communication with the PLC, the alarm will not appear in the alarm windows if you keep this flag. It's correct, no? Let's imagine you are losing the communication with the PLC, you don't know the real status of the variable. Is not correct to show an alarm, an event that is not true. No, you cannot monitor that is true. So maybe it's better have a generic information, lose the communication, no? So to alert the operator, then show an alarm that is not the real status of the field. That flag have this purpose. Now you can say, okay, very few property, something is missing. Yes, sure, it's missing the alarm threshold. This is the real earth of the alarm, because here you have much more information. An alarm could have only one threshold or more threshold. No, that is the difference between a digital alarm and an analog alarm. Basically, the difference is given by the variable that you associate to this alarm. Now, if you associate a bit, the alarm will have only one threshold. No? And in the tree execution, when your activation is measured or equal than 1, no, you generate the alarm. But you could have also an analog variable associated with your alarm. For example, a level, a pressure, a temperature. And you can generate different alarm, no? Adding more threshold. There are no limits. You can add a lot of thresholds, no, for this. For example, a tank level, I can generate a low trip text, no, when my alarm is minor or equal than 30%, and alarm low level when is I don't know, lower than 40, and high alarm when is more than 80, and the trip that lock the pump, close the valve when is higher than 95%. I don't know, something like this. No, that is the meaning of digital alarm and analog alarm. Let's do some example of a digital alarm. There is also a tool that is an alarm generator that lets you generate a lot of alarm with the suffix. No? Now, manually, our alarm. The threshold properties. You have a threshold name, so you can or give a correct name here. I don't know, could be HHLL. No, as was in the example I just gave you before. No? You could add here, enter the alarm threshold area as a logical group of alarms. An alarm text, for example, lube, oil, either crash low. An alarm help, not enter the string for the alarm threshold that will be displayed as a help message associated to the alarm text. In the general advance, you could also apply a user management also at the alarm level. No? An alarm could be visible, invisible, or you could go and acknowledge this alarm according to an user that you log on your application. These are the general property of the alarm. Execution. This is the minimum setting that you have to apply. The activation condition means I will generate my alarm when the value of the tag associated is measure equal than the value 1, for example. Severity is important because you could associate a different severity level at your alarms. It means severity 1 could be, I don't know, pre-alarm, pre-alert. Severity 2, it could be a trip condition. Severity 3, it could be a fault message, no? And then you can filter in the other windows your alarms according to this severity parameter. Delay, it means enter the number of seconds for the alarm threshold to wait before activating the condition alarm on. So it's a delay. Maybe you want to wait 2 seconds, 5 seconds before to generate the alarm on event. Execution advance is something interesting because you can improve this stuff. It means instead of writing a fixed value, you could add an alarm threshold variable. So the level could be dynamic according to this second variable. You could set a command when you double click on the alarm windows to a specific alarm. Perform an action, open and help, up to you, no? You could perform commands when the alarm is on. When our alarm is on, is lube oil, I can start the pump triggering a variable. Set the variable fan on, set equal 1. So it's, I know, guys, this is a logic that is done normally in the controller, but for some it could be interesting. I have the possibility to perform this kind of small logic, could be also an expression. To make a reaction, when the alarm is on, okay, perform an action. When you acknowledge the alarm, do another thing, and so on. And you can go in the threshold and modify the style. Also, the style is important because in the style option, you could allow the operator interface. It means support, the acknowledge, the reset. Look, this is an alarm. If I remove this operator interface, look, it's not more an alarm. It's for us a message in the alarm banner. You will find in the alarm window. You will find the same symbol. It means that it's not an alarm that requires the operator acknowledge and reset, but is a message that appears and then go when automatically when the condition re-enter. For example, the missing communication is often in the plant managed as a message. It's not something that you can acknowledge and reset. It's a condition that when it's present is still present until the condition go away, not require an action of the operator or a direct action of the operator. comment on acknowledge, another important stuff, disabled by default, but if you enable this flag, before accepting the other acknowledgement, a dialog window will prompt to force the user to enter a comment, an audit, to detail the cause of the trip. No, this is a known issue in the field. Is instrumentation have a problem, so we can go keeping this alarm, this message is important. No, this goes in the database and is traced, so it will be very important option. Blink, print, go in the record in the database, beep, change the color of the alarm, change the background color of the line, the blinking color, associate the speech alarm text. It will read using the speeching of the system. The alarm could be nice in case your control room is not always presentiated with an operator, but the operator maybe go on field and you can add a speaker, that give information on the speaker reading the text of the alarm. Loop oppression is on the speaker in the field, so the operator know what's happening. It could be interesting option. It's like a game, but it could be important. So look, the threshold contains really a lot of interesting options, like the alarm notification. In case I want to dispatch my alarms, I can set when dispatch. When the alarm is on, I can send an email or I can send an SMS. You need anyway a recipient, so it's a user that is enabled to receive this information. We will make an example later. Okay, guys, these are the threshold property and the alarm property. Lot of words, nothing do. An example. We could add a new variable that is, not group, a variable 11, okay, and I can associate this variable 11 to my alarm in the alarm properties, general property. Okay, a button to toggle this alarm. For simulation purposes here, and round button that toggle, I drag over on off this variable. Okay, to review this alarm, as I told, is very easy. Toolbox, objects, alarm windows. This alarm is ready. Just resize if you want to resize. Up to you. Normally you create a big alarm screen, but you can use the same object also minimized in all the synoptic. Up to you how to want to make. The object itself comes with really interesting properties. Later, let me go runtime. And this is the first way to generate an alarm. I create my alarm resource, the threshold, and I associate the variable. Alarm will appear with a background blinking red and black, and the same with an event. You can select the alarm, recognize the alarm. I can add the status that say, the alarm is off, and acknowledge. Here is the duration, was on for 1 second. Severity, so on the gray line, you can resize, add, remove through this field choice line. If you click here, on the gray, it will open this field choice line, let you add, remove field, normally in development, but also in runtime. Alarm on, select the line, alarm acknowledged, no more blinking, alarm off, and acknowledge, alarm reset. Select the line, reset single, reset all. So acknowledge all, reset all. Pip, you could add here an help. So if you set an help, you could add an help and call an help from the line. You can see the history of the alarm. Very important point. If I click on my alarm line, clicking the history button, it will open here to invoke what was the history of this alarm. It was present many times, and I can monitor what was the duration of the alarm. I will show also later. I could, and at the end you can add a comment on your alarm. When this on, start emergency alarm. So operator arrive here. What is this alarm? Oh, my colleague is an angel. Add me a comment what I have to do. Okay, no, this is, I'm just joking, but it's the first way to generate the alarm, creating the resource and associating in the alarm property your variable. There is another way, maybe it could be faster. Some customers you can create, I add another variable 12. If the alarm and the variable keep the same name, you need a threshold in this case, where I go and set the activation value. If you have the same name between variable and alarm, you don't need to associate because there is an automatic association. So just a new button, and I toggle the bit in this way. Why not write a description? It takes the threshold description, so it could be important to set a correct description name. Have you seen here the speaker read the message because I enabled this feature? About the description, you could add the description as I did here in the threshold directly, and Movicon will show the description. You could work with the threshold name. You could also dynamically write here in the alarm text another variable, F1 will explain. You can embed a dynamic text over the description from another variable. Could be a string, could be a value. Or if you have a third way to generate the alarm, we have, for example, an alarm that is a template. New alarm, new threshold, activation value equal 1. If I have now, I can call this alarm template. If I have more variable, like for example 13, 14, 15, 16, so a lot of variable, I can use this way, multi-selection with the shift, and right-click, I can associate an alarm template. So I generate only one alarm, and I use the same for more variables. Could be a good point. In this case, it could be nice to have the variable description. Ventilation, skid, temperature, time, variable 13 is a property of the variable. Inspection, door open, the filter house. We could have, I don't know, the inlet filter, differential pressure, time. I don't know, up to you, emergency fund start. Something like this, I generate, oops, where I write in the alarm, sorry. So you could also write here, but my purpose was show at the variable level. Okay, like this. I have the description in my variable. Now, if I run and test this variable with only one alarm, I create 4 different alarms. Another tip I can give you, if you, for example, select in the toolbox a button, orange noise, then you come here in the variable and you make a multi-selection of this variable. If you drag over the screen, automatically system creates the number of the button according to the number of the variables, and you can organize in 4 columns, adding the distance between the button. That is done automatically, you see, in order to optimize the insertion of the object. If I go runtime for simulation, I should remove this. Should remove this password manager. So you can, with this button, remove the. You could add this variable, and it takes the variable name, threshold name, but if you double click, you can see the description of the variable as an attribute of your alarm. The third way to generate the alarm, I'm using different color to differentiate the way. Last way could be, and sometimes customers are requiring, I have a new tag 17. I have an alarm that could be an alarm template, alarm 2, okay, where I add just the activation minimum condition, activation value. Now I associate this alarm as a template, like I do before. Now, if I have this tag name, I can use this in the string table to give different description. How? Let me save. No, never save. And let me remove the user management for the moment. Is not interesting. So I could right-click, edit the string table. I could add in my string table, is the same string table I used before for the translation. I could add a new string that is use this syntax, variable name dot 0 is the first bit. I missed to show that I just insert variable 17, that is a word. So is a 16 bit in this case. The purpose is enable a different alarm for each bit. Customer use this to pack the alarm, exchange a word and generate 16 bit basing the same on only one variable on this word. So a new string, use this syntax to enable the feature. Variable name dot bit number. And then the alarm text could be written here in the dedicated column. So it could be MCC motor control center in fault. I could write also the translation. MCC guasta. MCC under voltage. MCC overload. MCC in menu. I just split here the different bits and the description here. MCC manual. Can forget the string table. Just remember this syntax. Okay, save. Now it's done because on my variable I have associated the alarm. The description will come from the string table, and just for simulation purposes, we could add. Let's change the color to say that is a different type. Here I toggling the variable 70, refresh 70 dot 0, the first bit on off. I can do the same. Start if I not miss something. This is in fault, and this is under voltage, overload, and manual. Now, if I change the language from here, I have the language of the alarm in Italian because I fill the string table. So these are the 4 ways, guys, to generate the alarm. The standard is a variable, an alarm with all the property, and I associate in the general property of the alarm my variable. Second was alarm and variable keep the same name. There is an automatic association. So if you have to do a lot of alarm, could be nice, not to work in the alarm template. Only one alarm with maybe a group. Is a group at with a common description, threshold name, and alarm name, and I can use this template to associate the alarm for many variables. So only one alarm. It will save me time to generate the alarm because I have a resource. Pack the alarm. I want to exchange only one variable, a word, a byte, and I want to insert in this variable. Each bit is a different alarm. These are the ways that you can use to generate the alarm. To review the alarm, I already showed this object, alarm windows. Quickly the properties, The style lets you add, remove, and customize this button. If you don't want the graphic button, text us here are available, just removing this flag. If you want, you can change the position and the size of this button. Instead of the button, you can move on the left. Up to you, to customize the object, removing, adding button. You could resize in development. You could add, remove a field from here. You can replace the text name of the button through these properties. Execution, you can set how many alarm, maximum number of alarm. If you want to fast refresh, you can insert a lower number of alarm. You can connect through this object also an OPC AE server. If your system is sharing the OPC, you can browse an OPC from here and connect the object. You can add and change the font from here, and then you have the classical property of the object. This could be one example. Then, sorry, let me close this. This is another viewer. We can show also on another screen, screen 8, for example. We have other viewer that is the alarm banner. It's just a line that shows the last alarm. If I go runtime, you can see that the last alarm is displayed here. Maybe you need close to a particular instrument or a particular graphical, a line instead of the complete alarm windows. You can use the banner like this. If you want to call and see the historical data of an alarm, you could use or the way I showed before. So select an alarm and play history, or there is an object that is log windows. Just take and drag here, log windows. This object is specific to show the alarm not for the real-time alarm, but the historical alarm. If you click at the object, could be similar to the alarm windows in the style. You can decide to show one of the 3 historical events. You could set to show system messages, user logged on off, alarm messages, communication driver problem, or all. Up to you. No, you can maybe create 3 different objects pre-filtered in this way. Also in the other windows, you can filter apply query. Yeah. There is also a good script interface for this object. So alarm messages, this will call directly the information from the database. History of our alarm, you can filter sort by one of the column and you can print, you can refresh the history of the alarm. So this is how you can review your alarm, classical alarm windows, or banner, or the historical alarm through the log windows. Now, the alarm could be seen also in the report, as I showed, as I told. Now, all the alarm events are stored also in a database where my project path, logs folder, project name underscore historical log mdb file. If I open with access, you can see these 3 tables that are created automatically from the system. And here you can see that all the alarm events are stored in the access, all the drivers, information, communication established with the PLC, an error of the communication, all the system messages, the Francesco login failed, Paul has logged on. So all this information are stored in this access table. So in the meantime, the logs are full of interesting data. If you want, we have specific commands that you can use to display this data. For example, screen number 9, we can add a very nice button, a simple button, to display an alarm report. View alarm report. That could be the classical report. We have some template installed when you install Movicon. Here you should change the stroke color. You can change the size. Alarm report could be by data, could be by frequency, by duration. We have different templates. These are simple buttons. In the buttons, we have the command. So execute, command to execute is execute command, not on off to trigger a bit. And here you can click and select which command. Now we are working on alarms. So here are all the alarms commands you can perform and acknowledge all externally from the alarm windows. So you can create an event, a scheduler, that acknowledges the alarm, for example, or a logic in the controller that performs this event, acknowledge all. We could reset all, toggle, view report, export report. Oh, what is this? View report. Report file, select one template by data, select the duration if you want to filter. These are the commands available. Report by data. Second, execute command. I want to see the other report. New command, alarms, view report, or export in the report, frequency reports. Let's see what is this. So just 30 seconds to configure these 2 buttons. Let's go and run time. Result will be something like this. Click here. We'll take our predefined templates for the report. You can filter from a start data, end data here, or from a description, result is alarm report ordered by data. Here is the history of your alarms in these selected periods. Let's see the other. View alarm report by frequency. You can filter your time. Oh, there's another template by frequency. This is the evaluate periods. Oh, this is a classification order. The low blood pressure low was present 6 times here. Classification order. What's happened? Let's click here. This low blood pressure was present at this timing and for this period. It was for 4 minutes, 11 seconds, and so on. For a total of 6 minutes. Oh my God, I should optimize my plant working on this alarm. New page, wait. Sorry, I reopen. I close involuntarily. Next page is, oh, what I found here, an histogram that shows graphically the frequency of my alarm, so I can make an analysis. I can see from here what is the more recurrent alarm, also in a pipe, and I can make an analysis to try to reduce the conditions that are creating this problem. So it comes from free, let's say, because I just spent 30 seconds to generate a button that calls this template. You think, guys, this could be a nice option. Again, about the alarm, we could configure the alarm dispatcher to dispatch these messages. Okay. So, for example, I go quickly, tools, alarm dispatcher. This is the tool, external tool that Movicon uses to dispatch the alarm. What you have to do externally at the project, just configure a plugin that is in common on your PC, that is the plugin used from the system to send these messages to these alarms. So the settings, you have an help here, I go quickly at the settings plugin. You should select one plugin, for example, dispatch via mail your messages. Here is your plugin. Let me search if I have the one that uses the company. Okay, so you can define different plugin. Okay, and now I can test because it's using, or better, I should log on my Gmail. I'm using a Gmail account to send the messages. Could be a company plugin. You can test from here if it's working. Is a test mail here with this. Let's see if it's working because it's a lot of time not using. Run a test. Okay, should work. Okay, so I define a plugin with let's say a generic account for my plant that will dispatch the message. Stop. Just plugin, move on the right, configure, and save in one destination these dispatcher settings. This is the prerequisite. Then in the Movicon project, you need to define, the first step is the recipient will be an user. User 1 or Paul, for example. Let's say user 1. In the user, you should define in the detail of the user, according to the plugin that you select, which is the recipient, the mail. I can use my company mail. Okay. In the user data, user data, if it's an email, the mail. If it's an SMS, you could add here the information of the mobile phone. Now, this is another prerequisite. Then in the alarm threshold, for example, taking the alarm 1 threshold, we should set the recipient, could be a user or user group. Let's say this user one where I define and the plugin. Send when the alarm is on. Send an email when the alarm is on. That's all. If we test, now I'm not sure I can show because server is updated with some delay. If I trigger and change the alarm one here, the dispatcher is working. So I expect to receive. Here is the dispatcher sent. Okay, the log of this dispatcher is sent. I expect to receive. Now I have some problem with my mail. To receive this email from the system, from Gmail, my Gmail account. I told it's not updated in live. It takes some minutes, so maybe I'm not able to show right now. This. Let me close and reopen the Outlook if it's. But the system, if I not make mistake, it will show. We need a little time. Let's see if. But it's not important. Important is that I show how you can configure your hand dispatcher tool. Now the hour should arrive. Maybe need a little time. Server is updated not immediately, so it will take a little time. You will arrive, no problem. Okay, guys, that is more or less all for today. I hope it was interesting for you, this training. Thank you very much for your kind attention. This is the getting started, so through this base you can start with Movicon 11. On the second part, we will add additional topics. We'll look at how interface the project with the database, at all the objects related to the database, viewer, grid, object, data log, resource, reports, recipe, and some advanced part, trend, data analysis, this kind of things. This is for the basic training. And at the end, we have also an intermediate level with additional information regarding the networking, the user management, the OPC interface, and also the scripting. I hope you enjoyed this training. Thank you very much for your time. Have a nice day. Thank you. Bye, guys.